Every newborn in the US will get a digital ID at birth. You're not going to believe this. Starting January 2026, every baby born in the United States will automatically receive a digital ID at birth. We're not just talking name and birthday, we're talking retina scan fingerprints and even DNA data stored permanently. The new law, called the Digital Security Act, is being introduced to enhance child safety and national security. This digital ID will be required to enroll in school, access hospitals, and even sign up for apps. And no parental consent won't be required. It's considered a federal mandate. Some states have already confirmed if a child isn't digitally registered, they won't qualify for health insurance. Privacy advocates are sounding the alarm. This could be the start of lifelong surveillance. But supporters argue it's essential to prevent child trafficking and identity theft. So, is this the future of security or the end of personal freedom? Let me know in the comments, and follow for more updates like this.
The UK is being used as the testing country for the new digital ID requirements. According to the UK Prime Minister, United Kingdom citizens will not be able to work without the new digital ID. It will be promoted for convenience. It will also be promoted to sustain the border crisis, to stop illegal immigrants from working. But we know that's not what it's really for. It's really for authoritarian control. It's really the beast system. I'm gonna put an image on the screen specifying all of the government services that you will lose or gain. If you do not accept the beast system, you will not be able to do anything or partake in anything that the government possesses. People like me, when it comes, they're gonna have to take me out. I'm dying for Yahuwah in the name of Yahusha, Hamashiach. But he who endures to the end will be saved. So whichever way it go, either I'm gonna be took out or, I'm gonna be off grid. If y'all don't see me posting no more, that's what's going on. But look, we gonna get into the video, family, so y'all can get an update of what's going on. Yes, this is just the United Kingdom right now, but that's where it's being tested. Then other countries will start to push it out as well. Even if it's not accepted, even if people push back against it, then it's just gonna be forced. They wanna see if people will willingly accept it or if they're gonna have to do it by force. Just like during C-19, they said you couldn't work without that thing. All right, let's get into the video, family. Share this one out so people can get an understanding of what's going on. All right, let's get into it.
Y'all, this shit is crazy, fool. What the UK just proposed, it got the whole world on alert. Everybody looking like, what the fuck? By 2029, everybody in the UK must have a digital ID if you want to work and do other things. If you don't get the brick card, you won't be able to work. You won't be able to travel. And if you can't work, you can't buy food. If you can't buy food, you can't survive. This sounds like something out of Revelations. Like the mark of the beast. Y'all, and the crazy part is, if this shit work, or if they allow it to happen in the UK, and it's working out, expect other countries to start doing it. Maybe Europe first, and then it might come to America. Then it might go to Asia. Everywhere might adopt it. And we might be fucked. I feel like that shit just gonna start being like a domino effect. Y'all trying to tell me this shit don't sound like Black Mirror? Exactly. The government system that controls what you do, what you eat, where you at, who you are. The only thing is, this time it's not fiction. This shit happening in real time. You already got people saying hackers finna be licking their chops because they gonna be hacking into shit. This is all I gotta say about it, y'all. Do not play their game. Y'all must speak up right now, sign petitions, spread the word. Do not give in. If the UK can somehow stop this by doing petitions and other stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about? We can most likely stop it from happening everywhere. We need to do something now, because once it's going everywhere, we're gonna be short. We're gonna be out of luck. And the question I gotta ask is, if and when it comes to a country near you, are you going to comply? What are you going to do?
This brother is going in and telling the whole truth. It's also, you won't be able to pay your taxes. You won't be able to go to the doctor. Imagine how many people need their medicine. Imagine how many people, like he said, will need to provide for their family, they feel like. I already know Yahuwah the Most High will provide. This is where your faith really will be tested. Do you really believe? Do you really lean onto your Alua? Or will you fall with Babylon and its systems?
I was going to be on this app playing, but I'm going to just be serious. Take a look at this.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. Our immigration system does need to be fair, if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on.
They always try to frame it as if they're doing what's best for the country when it's really just them trying to control everything that we do. And if you allow them to, they will. So you need to know what's going on. I'm going to give you more information. Watch this next clip.
Citizens will have to have it, but won't have to carry it with them. It's not like an ID card, a physical ID card, where you'll be required to, as you move around the country, have it with you and show it. It will be compulsory if you want to work in this country.
I don't know if y'all saw, but on TikTok, they have tabs now that tell you what country is what. Like, you can go and click on USA or blah, 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 right? So I clicked on the USA. Let me show you guys what was under that tab.
The digital ID wallet is being introduced towards the end of the year, and you're going to carry things like your driving license as your ID. Now, that might seem like a great product for everyone and, you know, nice and easy because you got it all on your phone in your wallet. But think about this: social scoring, fraud prevention, crime prevention, save the NHS. At the moment, you have to produce ID when you go into a supermarket if you're underage and you're buying prohibited substance, product, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever, age restricted, right? But think about this. When the whole system kicks in, and it's only later this year that the digital wallet is going to come out and the driving license is going to be the first document that's going to go in there because that's your ID. Think about this. Social scoring is coming. Not only that, but then next, the pressure on the NHS. So let's just say you're overweight. You've heard this one. You're overweight and you want to buy something with sugar in it, or you're diabetic or whatever. They don't want you being a burden on the NHS. And now you go into a store, you show them your digital ID that is now connected up with everything else, and it says that you shouldn't be buying that. So you will be restricted from buying food in the supermarket very soon, under the disguise of the criminal, the fraud, and the help the NHS that they broke intentionally so that you think that you're going to be supporting it by not allowing somebody to purchase something because it's not right for them one way or the other, or their bank account doesn't reflect the money that's being spent, or they're spending too much. All of those control measures are going to impact you.
As an American, this is where you need to draw the line. Digital IDs is where you need to draw the line. Why do we need digital IDs when we already have a birth certificate, an ID card, a social security card, all of these things that identify us, a passport? Why do we need that? Now it's time for critical thinking. Use your critical thinking skills. It does not make sense, and it's too much control over your person. You need to opt out. Jump in the comments, share if you care.
The thing is, it's not just as easy as opting out and saying, I don't want it. I don't want to have that. No, opting out is taking things into your own hands. Being self-sufficient, going decentralized. That's your only chance. And those systems may fail as well, but they could free you for a certain extent of time. That's all it is. It could buy you time. It could give you the monetary edge to completely own where you stay, own what feeds you, your food and water source. That's opting out. You can't think that you will still be dependent on your 9 to 5, on government insurance, the healthcare system. You're going to have to learn about herbs, herbal healing. You can't think you'll still be dependent on sending your kids to school, homeschooling. You have to learn how to homeschool or move to a country where you can build your own school. That's opting out. Community, being a part of the community, contributing to the community, building community, networking with people that have the same intentions and the same goals.
Okay, so the leader of the UK, this guy's horrible, he just announced mandatory digital ID by, I think, 2029. Man, I don't think people really understand what's going on. The World Economic Forum's been talking about this for a while. My previous TikTok account I had years back, I used to talk about this stuff a lot, and it got banned because I was talking about it, that and COVID and stuff. But I don't talk about it much on this account. But digital ID is going to be really bad. It's basically the government having absolute total control of you. I think Mexico, that lady that runs that country now, I think she announced they're going to do it too. It's going to be a global thing. What's happening is the elite globally are worried about, like, what's happening in Nepal. They're worried about control slipping out from them because they've spiraled all these leaders. It's kind of weird. Okay, let's just do a little side note. It's kind of funny. I had somebody tell me, like, oh, Trump made a fool of himself in front of the United Nations. They're all laughing at him. All those people at the United Nations are all leaders, and they've all ruined every country they're in. They're all corrupt, including America. Everybody's corrupt. Your congressmen are corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. When you give people power and money and they print the money, they're all corrupt. It doesn't matter what country you go to. So having world leaders laugh at you means nothing. They're all evil people. So anyways, so these same evil people now want to make you have a digital ID. Everything in your life is going to be on this card. If you want to go to the bank, you have to use this card. It's going to track you. It's going to have a tracking device in it. It will put limits on things you can buy. You know, you can only use, let's say, 10 gallons of gasoline a month. You can only buy like 2 pounds of meat a month. It's all going to start getting tied to all the climate change stuff, everything. They're going to put expiration dates on your paycheck because it's all digital. You have to spend it. You can't save your money anymore. They're going to connect the social credit score system to it, where you say something bad about the government on Facebook or something, or on TikTok, they're going to punish you for it. They're going to fine you. They're going to start doing things to you because your whole world will be wrapped into this digital ID, and the digital ID will be controlled by the government itself. It's basically like you now have a bank account through the Federal Reserve. It's not through Chase or Bank of America, whoever you have. So digital ID is going to be it's basically what in religion they call the mark of the beast. This is kind of like biblically almost, you know, and I'll get a bunch of people laughing at me in the comments over that. But I remember when COVID started, people called you a conspiracy theorist when they talked about stuff like this. I talked about it. I was called crazy, had videos banned, stuff like that. And I said digital ID is coming, and it's going to come to America too. Now, whether people will fight against it, I don't know. But the young people are really naive and really gullible. Young people think everything is cool. Apple Pay. They think everything that's technology is cool and trendy. And they're not very smart. The school system has done a great job at brainwashing all these young people. They're all just angry. They can't read, write, do math properly. So they're going to be the perfect ones to introduce digital ID to, because they'll all probably go for it. Because again, they just don't really have the mental capacity to understand any of this. And it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy where we're all headed, and we're going to walk right into it. It's almost like a slaughterhouse opening its door, and the cows outside, instead of resisting, they just kind of casually walk right in, take a bolt to the head. You know, like that's kind of what the human race is about to do with digital ID. If people don't fight back on this, your government's going to own you. They're going to own everything about you. And guess what? It's all attached to them. They ever want to just cancel your whole life? It'd be like watching a movie like The Pelican Brief. You know, they've made movies about stuff like this. Enemy of the State. They've made movies about the government just digitally taking over your whole life. They can alter anything about you. They can create a fake criminal record for you. They can do anything. Once your whole life is wrapped up into one microchip, they own you. They can do whatever. They can manipulate it. And the way they're gonna implement this is they're gonna tell all the banks it's mandatory that freeze everybody's bank account until they sign up, and you're not gonna have access to your own money anymore. And what are you gonna do? They're gonna kick you out of your house. They're gonna tell your employers, fire them if they refuse. They're gonna connect it to your employer as well. So this is about to become a really nasty global thing, and people need to be educated on what digital ID is, and people need to talk about it. That's all.
These are the signs of the times. This is why since I had this channel, I've been telling y'all to prepare. This is why I've been saying grow your own vegetables, grow your own fruits, become self-sufficient, go off grid if you can. You know, get you some land, go off grid. Rainwater recycling systems. Do everything that you can to not be dependent on the government. If you've been kicked off of government assistance lately, good. You might look at it as a bad thing. But this actually should be a wake-up call that, hey, I don't need to be on that. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to sell out. Those that are wise will recognize the devil's devices, and they will recognize the beast system and his number. This video is to prepare you, not scare you. Let's get into more clips. You don't got to believe me. Go in your scriptures. Believe what's being shown to you. Believe by discerning the word. And this will be tied in with the CBDC. Okay, Trump did the anti-CBDC policy. No, they're doing it through stable coins. It's a different name for the same thing. Trackable, traceable, programmable money. Money that they can turn off at any time, that they can track what you're buying, limit what you're buying. This also ties into social credit scores, carbon footprint trackers. You might not be able to travel, right? They can say you travel too much. You can't travel no more. You eat too much meat. Now your social credit score goes down. Now you are revoked from being a part of society. Y'all better look this up. Y'all better watch the documentaries on this. This has already been tested in China. They're already well into it. They're in full-blown crisis right now. Can't take trips. Shut out of their bank accounts. They froze their bank accounts. Froze their money. Students not able to go to college. Other people not able to pay their rent. Not able to access nothing that they own. Y'all better start taking this serious. This is Agenda 2030. They saying they gonna have it done by 2029. That's the UK. But the thing is, What they're not saying is all countries will have it done by 2029 or 2030. At the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit in 1992, all of the presidents signed this order. They agreed that they would usher this in. And slowly but surely since then, each and every single president has been laying the foundation for this to happen. A one world government, one world digital currency, one world religion where Christianity and Islam will come together to merge into one religion that will control the world. This is around the same time that the beast system will be put in place. And people will worship the image of the anti-Mashiach, the anti-Messiah. We are getting closer to all of this being fulfilled.
I'm mentally preparing myself because I know for a fact something is about to happen. The UK just made it mandatory for their citizens to have digital IDs. And if they don't have digital IDs, then they have problems. They're making it where if they don't have digital IDs, they won't be able to work. Then what's going to happen after that? They won't be able to buy food. Then what's going to happen after that? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen after that. Right now, they're saying that they're seizing everyone's bank account in the UK that doesn't have the digital ID. What does that tell you? Then I want you to think. Just think for a second. Usually, when things like this happen in other countries, it's just a test to see if it'll work in other countries. Now you got to ask yourself, what country is next? Right. But then I want you to dig a little bit deeper. Grab your Bibles. And I need you to just think about the mark of the beast. Take your time. I'm not saying that's what it is, but just think about it. Think about all the shit they're trying to introduce. Think about why they want to introduce it. Think about the control they'll have if they introduce it and we accept it. You thinking? Yeah, all right. Pay attention.
I don't feel petitions will work. Y'all know who controls the government. Royalty stays royal. Y'all know who controls the courts. Also, this is prophetic. This is prophecy playing out. It will come to pass. It will happen. No, I'm not going to comply.
All right, folks, let's talk about digital ID, because this shiny new idea being peddled as the future of convenience is about as appealing as a porta potty at a fucking chili cook-off. Digital ID, for those who haven't been paying attention, is the push to tie your entire existence, your name, your face, your bank account, your medical history, your voting record, heck, probably your favorite pizza topping, to a single trackable, hackable, government-approved digital leash. Sounds like a fucking blast, right? Wrong. It's a surveillance state's wet dream, and it's being sold to us like it's the key to a utopian candy store. Let me break down why this is a disaster wrapped in a catastrophe, served with a side of what the fuck were they thinking. First off, let's talk control. Digital ID puts your life in the hands of whoever's holding the server keys. Governments, tech giants, or some unelected bureaucrat who couldn't find their own backside with a GPS. You think these folks have your best interest at heart? Please. These are the same people who can't keep their own databases from leaking like a sieve. Remember Equifax? Experian? Those weren't mom-and-pop lemonade stands getting hacked. Those were some major players losing your social security number to some guy in a basement eating fucking Cheetos. Now imagine that same level of incompetence handling a digital ID that controls access to everything. Your job, your money, your ability to buy groceries. One glitch, one hack, one policy update, and you're locked out of your own life. Poof! You're a non-person until someone in tech support decides you're worth their coffee break. And don't get me started on privacy. Digital ID is like handling over your diary, your wallet, and your house keys to some stranger who promises not to snoop, except they've already started rifling through your stuff before you even finish signing the fucking terms of service. Every move you make, every transaction, every doctor's visit, every late-night pizza order, it's all tracked, stored, analyzed, forever. You think you've got nothing to hide? That's cute. Until some algorithm flags you as suspicious because you bought too much fertilizer for your garden or Googled how to change a tire one too many fucking times. Next thing you know, you're explaining yourself to a TSA agent who thinks your dog's Instagram is a national security threat. And then there's the coercion angle. They'll tell you digital ID is optional, just like they told you nobody would ever mandate a vaccine passport, huh? Yeah, sure. Give it a year, and you'll need a digital ID to board a plane, open a bank account, or buy a cup of fucking coffee. Don't comply? Good luck living like it's 1850. They're already testing this stuff in places like Canada and the EU. It's coming to Great Britain, where convenience is the carrot and exclusion is the stick. Australia's got digital ID laws creeping through Parliament, and the World Economic Forum is out there cheering like it's the fucking Super Bowl of centralized control. This isn't about making your life easier. It's about making sure you play ball or get benched. And let's not kid ourselves about security. Digital ID systems are Fort Knox in theory and a screen on a fucking submarine in practice. Cyber criminals are licking their damn lips, licking their chops at the thought of a single point of failure for your entire identity. One breach, and it's not just your credit card number. They've got your whole life. The FBI's already warning about the deep fakes and identity theft scams getting more and more sophisticated every day. And we're supposed to believe a digital ID will be bulletproof? I'd sooner trust a paper towel to stop a fucking bullet. Now, I'm not saying we should all go live in a cave and barter with chickens, though at this point, it's not the worst goddamn idea. Technology's great when it serves us, not when it's got us on a leash. Digital ID isn't about freedom or convenience. It's about fucking control, surveillance, and turning you into a data point for someone else's profit or power trip. We've got enough problems without handing over the keys to our lives to people who can't even keep their own fucking house in order. So here's the call to action, folks. Wake up, stand up, and say no thanks to this digital dystopia. Write your elected officials, flood their fucking inboxes, clog their voicemails, demand transparency, demand alternatives, demand your right to exist without being tethered to a government fucking app. Talk to your neighbors, your friends, your cousin who will still use a flip phone. Spread the word like digital ID isn't progress, it's a fucking trap. And if they try to shove it down our throats anyway, we'll do what free people have always done. We'll push the fuck back, we'll resist, and we'll find a way to keep living on our terms. Because if there's one thing I know about us, it's that we don't roll over easy. Now get to it before your fucking identity's just a barcode on someone else's screen.
Right on point. He right on point. And did y'all hear about the story of the guy? He jaywalked. Walked across the street. By the time he crossed that street, the money was automatically taken out of his bank account. We are headed into a dystopian world. We are headed into a dictatorship. Every country. It's not time to be distracted by memes, by the distractions with these celebrities. It's time to be locked in and doing what's best for our families. It's time to be ready to prepare to escape for the second exodus. I can't say it no better. I'm going to say the same exact things to y'all. Now I got a task for y'all. After this video is over, go on TikTok. Go on YouTube. ChatGPT if you use that. Ask ChatGPT, how is it sinister? How is the digital ID sinister? Watch documentaries on the digital ID and how they work. Look up China's social credit score. Do some research on this. You want to stay 7 steps ahead. That way you're not deceived. That way you're not misled. You got to know what the enemy is doing and how to combat his moves. How to stay ahead of the moves that the enemy is making. I appreciate y'all for watching. Share this video out. Peace to my Hebrew family. Shalom. He who endures to the end will be saved. I will catch y'all on the next one. I love y'all.